moving forward, let's talk AEW. Let's talk about Tony Khan. Tony Khan on Twitter. As far as the quarters angle does go. Because we've got, and I'm going to pull a couple of different things here up on the screen. Because we got some tweets we got to go through. Oh boy, do we. Oh boy, do we ever. So, this past week, actually, I'm going to start this off by reading the TMZ report first. And then we'll go from there. Just to give context over everything. So this past week on AEW Dynamite, they did an angle with Juice Robinson and MJF that led to a lot of fans being upset. That led to a lot of fans being hurt. And they called it anti-Semitic. It was over the quarters stuff with Juice and MJF. Basically, the TMZ article reads as followed. AEW is catching some serious flack from fans online after it had some of its wrestlers participate in an anti-Semitic storyline on Tuesday night, just days after the heinous attacks in Israel. The confrontational segment aired towards the end of this week's AEW Dynamite episode, when world champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who's Jewish, began a promo exchanging with Juice Robinson. During the bit, Robinson and his Bullet Club Gold teammates were taunting Friedman and attempting to bait him into a future match, when suddenly Robinson pulled out a roll of quarters. Written on the $10 pack of coins was the name Friedman. As Robinson showed it to the camera and then to MJF, he screamed into the microphone, "You know what I do with these, Sonny Jack? I break idiots' jaws." The scene was widely panned on social media as anti-Jewish, as Friedman has said repeatedly in the past that when he was a teenager, bullies would pelt him with quarters and tell him, "Pick it up, Jew boy, pick it up." Fans were irate with the wrestling organization's decision to turn it all into storyline this week, considering all of the terrors that's currently happening in Israel. For Friedman's part, he actually snapped out of the quarters as over the quarters as part of the promo on Tuesday's show, yelling back at Robinson, quote, "You come near me with those quarters, I'll end your life, you piece of shit." He later took to Twitter X to address the matter as well, basically saying that he's going to speak at the Stand Up for Jewish Hate thing this Thursday, which actually was yesterday at Gillette Stadium with Robert Kraft and so forth. So that's where all this stems from. Then, as we pull up these tweets on Twitter, let's pull these up on the screen. This comes from a AEW fan from Jacksonville. That is a big thing. From Jacksonville, Travis Akers, who tweets, "We were watching AEW when this happened live last night. It was tasteless and a horrible decision by Tony Khan to pursue an angle woven with anti-Semitism. We changed the channel. AEW lost me as a fan with this one, which sucks because I really enjoyed their product." Then Akers would tweet this. "This is how Tony Khan responds to my critique of using an anti-Semitic storyline instead of addressing a legit concern. He says, it's not doing much good. Thousands of fans have expressed disappointment about the poorly timed angle. This is not how you respond to them." So Tony Khan hits up this fan, as you see here in the image, and it says, "I got the point. You didn't like the angle on the second tweet, Travis. Message was received hours ago. I don't think quote tweeting TMZ is doing much good." Then the second one, Akers responds by saying, "How often do you slide into fans' DMs to mock a legitimate critique? I love AEW. In my opinion, you have the greatest roster in the entire industry. I've been to over a dozen AEW shows, have a couple friends in the company, and have promoted your brand extensively. If I can recommend anything, it would be to not just acknowledge our legitimate concern, but address it head on. Non-kayfabe on next week's Dynamite." Akers then sent out this response from Khan that stated, "I know who you are, or I know exactly who you are in Jacksonville. That's why I reached out." So what is Tony doing here? Why is he reaching out to fans, telling fans, I get it, or this one fan at least, this is the only one we know of, but this one fan stating, or him stating back to the fan, I don't think quote tweeting the TMZ article is doing much good. I get it, you didn't like it. Like, this man needs his cell phone taken away. Between this and all the tweets we're going to talk about here in a minute, boy, this man is just spiraling out of control right now mentally. And someone needs to help him. Because it's like, boy, howdy. To go as far as to not address this publicly yourself online or in a video on something else, I don't know. But to DM a fan, to go and slide into their DMs and be like, I get it, you didn't like it. Basically saying you don't have to keep tweeting about it. To tell the fan what to do, kind of? Like, again, I'm going to read Tony's message to him. I got the point that you didn't like the angle on the second tweet, Travis. First off, you're going naming him. Not just saying, I get you didn't like the angle, but to say, Travis, like, talking down. Message was received hours ago. Like, stop tweeting about this. I don't think quote tweeting TMZ is doing much good. Like, stop pushing the TMZ article out there in the ether. We don't need more people tweeting it out. Like, come on, Tony Khan. What are you doing? What are you thinking? This is ridiculous. And this is just one piece of the crazy Tony Khan crap from the weekend, or from the week that we've had so far.